What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you another OneHive war recap video. OneHive versus Fortas LTU. Really was the don't look at this as a blowout because it really wasn't. It was an unfair match. So I blame the Supercell gods. Sorry to Fortas, but thanks for the respectable war and shout out to your bases. You guys are definitely adapting to the new meta. It was a lot harder to air attack this war, but it's yeah, some good raids to share. Excuse me. A little bit behind on content, so I'm going to speed through some of this. Plus, I don't find this a fair fight. There's some other content I want to cover. I know OneHive Prime random match against Golden Goblins. I'm going to want to go over some of that. Look out for that. Hopefully it's not erased by now. And then currently right now, OneHive versus Immoral Thieves is going on. And that one is a fair breakdown. So that one's going to be a really good war. It already is. Base changing is base meta is changing, man. They're really accounting for some. Lalo is really anti-Lalo is getting really strong now. I like it. I'm excited. Let's go down to number 5. That said, let's go to 15. We have SGP. Not picking like oh my god gangster attacks. We're gonna pick some raids for some specific reasons. And most of the 10s up top, just give you guys an idea. Were cleared by dips, but then again, we did have 2 extra Town Hall 11s against Fortas, which is really unfortunate. But SGP doing his standard Queen Charge, Earthquake, Baby Dragon, but it doesn't go according to plan. He actually misses. As you see, the Queen Charge is going to get most of this. You have seen this before. But he misses the Queen completely. And it's not to say like, oh my god, what are you doing, SGP? It's like, this stuff happens. And in another war, our current war right now, some other OneHive member, I believe it was Josh, that got like a 99 and a 98 and was really upset because he feels that he got that because of placing his queen incorrectly, which could be true. And he's like, he's frustrated about it. Like, what am I doing wrong? And a lot of times you're not. Sometimes AI is the cause. The other time is one tile makes a difference. Legit, one tile of a placement of a troop could make a difference on a 3. You gotta love and hate that about this game, as this queen snipes everything that he intended to get with that kill squad towards the left with his barbarian king and bowlers, basically not getting any main objectives, which was the queen or even an air defense. They just took out some trash. Which, if anything, clears the way for the baby dragon, but that wasn't the objective. He doesn't give up, and he has patience. Like, he must, if he's not a father, he's going to be a great one, because this man has incredible patience. That's all I know. I'd be freaking out right about now, like, oh my god, there's a minute left. I only have 5 baby dragons. Hurry, hurry, hurry. So we go to times 2. 3 of those baby dragons clump up together, but once they, the 2 of them go down, one of them enrages, takes down a storage, or almost does. Then he stays cool. That high last air defense, he leaves up to basically swarm it at the end, which I just thought took a lot of guts, a lot of cojones. But now, towards the end, he was not fighting the clock. Plus, you got to remember the queen was supposed to go down. So I just thought that was really nice. Not sticking to the plan and then showing everybody that, people claim that Town Hall 9 is broken. It is not. In my humble opinion. Let's go down to number 17. I wanted to show this was a fresh hit, and only because someone in Ain't Nobody was asking, I think it was Brody. No, maybe it wasn't Brody. I could have sworn it was Brody. Forgive me, but it's been a couple days ago. But they asked, like, when do you do a walk? Because they've never tried a walk. And I had explained to them that you want to do a walk whenever there's you're going to get a return on investment for that, because your walks are basically 2 golems. So for 60 troop space, what key objectives are you going to get? I originally wanted to walk down the side from the town hall all the way down to where the Queen Suicide Royal is going to be. And I was going to leave it open because I can get these 2 air defenses along the way. And then I was going to allow all the rest from behind the sweeper. But what I didn't like about it is I anticipated a Tesla farm up north, which I was correct. And I didn't really care about the sweeper placement on this. But basically, I looked at it and I saw a time issue. You got a stopper on the town hall, stopper on 2 storages along the way, and I wouldn't get the sweeper. So I'd still have to fight the sweeper at some point with my loons. Pretty sure my guess was right, but on the Tesla farm, it was just a little bit lower than what I anticipated. I thought it was going to be higher. But the message that I gave that person was, if you're not getting a return on investment for your walk, do something else. You get if you're not going to get a lot of defenses along the way, if you're only getting trash, if you're only getting stopped by time, don't do it. And so at the last minute of my plan, I was ready to hit. I saw an opening with what we just saw here, and as you guys can see, it was a heck of a lot easier to do. There was no risk. I shouldn't say there was a lot less risk. And I was not fighting the time. I was worried about time, and I was worried about controlling my loons towards the back end with a lot of defenses left over. Had I done my original plan, which was to walk from 1 down to 3 and leave it as an open walk. It was a bit more. Walks add a bit of a complication as we go to ×2 and risk to your attack. Even if you're great at them, it's just another thing you have to keep track of that could go wrong. So that's another reason why I abandoned that. Went sometimes simple is best. So we'll back out of here and then go down to 24. I shouldn't even say sometimes. I should say always. Always simple is best. Let's look at Balo de Bear with 28 loons. That is a crap ton. Kind of developing a tri-Lalo, Suicide Royal Tri, or you could call this Suicide Royal Lalunian is what some people have called it. I looked at it as a hybrid of the Balloon Parade and like a quad or the new quad Lalo. But he's bringing 2 haste, and look at these bases if you guys haven't noticed. There's some really good attempts to try to be anti-air, and you see now they have shallow air defenses. But a haste and a few loons can kind of take that out. They can swarm in air defense if it's super shallow, is like what we saw down south by that BK that was protecting what is now demolished. But by having these shallow air defenses, your anchors or your tanks kind of don't go the way that you're used to. So with this, though, by identifying that and bringing a heal for your Lalo and haste at the right spots, exhibiting some patience as well. You want your hounds to bust so they can put out cleanup troops. As long as you exhibit those things, you'll be okay. And Balo de Bear demonstrates that here. He's got a rage and a heal left over, and an unbroken hound, which will bust no doubt right about here shortly, I think. I think that heal spell only helped him out a little bit. But he also wasn't chasing the clock. If there's anything I got to observe a little bit more is remembering I got to let the hounds bust. I like to go haste heavy, and a lot of times I end up with the hounds still up in the air, and I could use that extra to clean up troops. Nice job, Balo de Bear. And again, great bases from Fortas. Really like that. If I'm not pronouncing that correctly, I'm sorry. I just assumed it was Fortas. Back, bounce out of here. And for the last one, I got something nice to show you with the Ice Wizard. Everyone all asking, piggybacking, asking about the Ice Wizard and its utility. It's a great utility. It's a great utility troop. I'll go ahead and say it. I personally think, and kind of still lean on the side that it is. It's a novelty, but I can see a small, very small place in the game for it. Child Time or Quay uses it nicely. You see that how he includes just 2 wizards that take away 2-point defenses. He's going to include 2 more down here on this Archer Tower as soon as his tank comes around, and the wizards are actually following. Look at that. That's exactly how you want to use this, where there's one always working on it. But he really understands how to use these wizards, and it's really well placed. I still prefer regular wizards over the ice wizards, but this is a great way to utilize and illustrate for people how to use the ice wizards. And there was even another example where Yudi used it on a dip on a 9.5 that an ice wizard took out a level 4 X-bow while it was tanking while it was being tanked from a golem. So it's scarce opportunities, but there's definitely some good use of 1 to 2, which I think it was Duce or Jordan that said, or even Jake the Rake that said, if a troop has 1 utility in it, like 1 usefulness of it, then it's a useful troop. And so at first I kind of taken back by that, like I don't really know about if I agree with that. And then I started seeing the usage of it, and I completely agree with it. So as far as you just won't see like a mass ice wizard army strat, which is kind of nice. Mass army strats suck. So it's nice to have complementary troops in here. I don't think this is going to help out make the difference at Town Hall 11. Maybe it will. Who knows, right? But, I mean, I don't think that's the answer they're looking for, the great equalizer. I think balancing has to do with that. But this is a great hog attack in a time where loons are king. Plus, it illustrated great uses of the Ice Wizard. So I had to show it, go to ×2. Plus, it was a really nice control of his troops. Quay always understands the AI of every individual troop, and it shows in his raids, which is why I always like watching them. Nice job, Chow Time. Once again, that'll do it for this recap. Sorry for the mismatch, Fortas. Good luck in your wars this weekend. And once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you got to be better than the double. And now we'll check you next time.